What's up, dirty plant hoes and all you dirty plant enthusiasts out there? We're going to talk about some propagations of some monstera that I propagated in the wintertime. Someone call the cops on your girl.
Swear to God, I'll pistol whip the next guy that says shenanigans.
About some monstera propagations, we're going to talk about some begonia propagations, and maybe when I meet you back here, we can open something that I got in the mail that I am so excited about. So excited about. I just want to give you that clue. It's handmade. So stick around, check out my props, and then you can come and check out what I got in the box. So today, Casey's going to be manning the camera while I show you guys some of the propagations that are going on in my bedroom. This first one, these are all just little Rubbermaid containers, by the way. This first one is an Emerald Ince node cutting. Right here you can barely see it. It kind of blends in with everything else. You can see on the back side here, it's already kind of starting to try to develop some mold. I'll flip it. You see that? So that's not boding very well for sphagnum moss with little nodes. If it's looking like it's failing too badly, I'm gonna pull it out and I'm gonna put it in some water and we'll try it like that. So that's what's going on in this one. No, they're not labeled. I wish I was that organized. So this next one is a begonia with lookup propagation, and this I have noticed loves being in this terrarium type setting. How close are you getting? Damn. This one loves being in the terrarium like setting, and I noticed that even being covered, the light is not affecting the leaves as badly. You know me, I'm a leaf bleacher, so this has been really cool to see how it propagates. These are all new leaves since I put these main two stems in here. So I really love this begonia with lookup also because it's a trailing begonia, but I think I'm gonna try this one right here in a terrarium setting and maybe with like a shade cloth on it or something to keep it from getting too bleached out. Colors are super rich when it's got this opaque lid on top of it. So that's that one. I'll move the ones I've done down here. Okay, so this next one is a pretty exciting one that I've got. It's a begonia griffin that I did not think I would be able to propagate from a leaf, but it's got these new little babies coming in right here. Super duper cute. So this little guy right here is really exciting for me because this is one of my favorite begonias. So having an extra one is going to be really cool. I'm going to put the lid back on it. I'm going to show you what's happening on the bottom side of this container. Can you guys see all the roots in there? I'm going to spin it around. Look at all those little baby ones coming up from the side. That's really cool looking. So that's my begonia griffin. Then we have this little guy, who is my green chloristicta. And I have failed with the chloristicta, and I've tried the red one just by leaf propagation over and over again, and it's molded and gone rotten every single time. So this is really exciting. So this green chloristicta right here, if you can tell, these little bitty teeny tiny babies coming up right next to it. That's officially successful. This one right here, not so much. I'm not seeing anything yet, but since the leaf hasn't completely deteriorated, I'm guessing that it's gonna be fine. So really excited about this propagation. And the next propagation that I do of the red chloristicta will be stem propagation. You don't have to be, I mean, I feel like you're really up in my pores right now. Okay, so that's the chloristicta, the green one. This one right here is my begonia fulgurata, and as much as I love these little tiny baby leaves, these mature leaves are not the best. I've kept them in a pretty tight terrarium. I've kept them in a really tight terrarium, trying to, you know, encourage these leaves to flatten out a bit, but they just won't play ball. But these little baby leaves are almost cute enough to deal with everything else that we're dealing with, so really cute. So I'll have a second one of those, and I'm definitely probably going to be sending this one out to a friend because I have like multiple fulguratas at this point. You never know when Rachel might offload something onto you. This last one is my last hope for my begonia chloristicta red form leaf propagation. It's still alive. Not really. This is what it looks like. This is a good example, guys. This was a leaf right here. Do you see all this deteriorated, like icky, almost like cloth on top? That's a nasty leaf that's just said, no thank you, ma'am. This one I had hope for because I felt like when I tugged on it, it's not coming out. So, but it's dying. You can see this is what it starts to do. It like rips like, you remember when your grandma used to have one of those old cars and it had that cloth top on it? You remember what I'm talking about, babe? Mm-hmm. The cloth top on the car.
Rag top.
And then the kids would always poke holes in it to where it would sink. That's what happens to them when they get too moist right there. So we'll see. We'll do an update and we'll see if this actually does anything. I'm guessing that's a no.
Over.
Yeah, we're 0 for, I don't know how to say that sport-wise. We're 0, what is that?
How many times have you tried it?
3.
0 for 3.
I'm 0 for 3.
It's complicated.
Okay, so this right here, are you getting all my trash in the background? Because that's not gonna work. Okay, so this begonia escargot propagation, I'm experimenting with it right now. I've put it in a cloche because I thought maybe it'll grow like way faster if it's in a cloche where the humidity is like wicked high. But I can already tell that right along here where the moisture has begun to collect and condensate on these fuzzy leaves, this part of the leaf will be deteriorated soon. So this was a mistake. Right, look at here, you can already see it splitting a little bit right there. I should have not put it into a cloche when it got a certain height, but lesson learned, and this one will stay out in regular air with everybody else. Okay, so I'm gonna put this guy back up and I'm not gonna put him in the big cloche so that he can have some room to breathe and maybe those leaves won't get damaged by the moisture if they have some time to dry out. Okay, another propagation, technically, that I have. This next one, I've showed you guys on some plant tours and things like that before, and I never expected to have this great of success with this Berkelii silver edge. But let's have a look at what's going on inside of this jar. Okay, so if you'll look deep down in here, you'll see this leaf right here that's actually like one of the darkest ones so far. This one's lighter, and let me kind of rotate the jar for you so you can see what's going on the inside. So my favorite part about this little propagation jar are these 2 little leaves right here because they're really small and really cute. And if you notice down here, there's just all kinds of crazy stuff going on inside of this jar. And I just keep the lid on it and I water it on occasion. And I mean on occasion, every couple of weeks. Bing, bang, boom, Bob's your uncle. Very little maintenance on that cookie jar. Show them how obsessed the dogs are with the new fish tank.
That's Winston and Peapot with our new fish aquarium.
And she's gonna just sit there and shake and stare at fish. Isn't this insane? Have you ever seen fish look at, or have you ever seen dogs look at fish like
These
that?
fish just stare at these dogs all day long.
These fish stare at these dogs all day. Okay, so this right here is my Monstera albo propagation. A lot of people message me and ask me, do you have any tips on rooting a Monstera albo? And this is what I tell them. Anytime that someone asks for advice on how to propagate, I always tell them the only way I have ever propagated things with success thus far has been with water. And you can see these are the aerial roots that were just little nubs, and now they've protruded out into good size little water tap roots. So this will soon be ready to go into its own little pot. So that's pretty exciting. This is the top, if you've received a Monstera albo from me ever, this is the mother top of that plant. So very special to me for sure. Check out the midrib holes. Also, by the way, I don't know if you've paying attention, but I cut it right when it was developing midrib fenestrations, which means that's how much I love the people that I sent it to. Okay, this right here is my varicosum propagation. I don't know if you guys watch Becca de la Plants, but she is a friend of mine, a plant tuber friend of mine, and I propagated this off the top of my varicosum so that I could send her a cutting of it. So if you guys will look here in the glass, the water is getting a little low. You can see that it's like a little bit squiggly. There's some stuff floating around in there, but mostly this is a successful propagation so far. The little pink bits are what's growing fresh in the water. And once again, this is a good example of if I want to propagate philodendron or monstera, this is my go-to method. I would say if you're doing this and you're having some troubles with it, I would suggest getting a seed starter mat to place your water vessel onto. to trick your plants into thinking that it's summertime, that the weather is warm outside, and that it's time to grow and spread and things like that. But I wouldn't worry about it unless you're seeing stagnation. So you guys remember when I did my NSC Tropicals review / can you grow tropical houseplants in your home? And I've spoken about, I got my first Esmeraldens and it was perfect, and the second one had spider mites and I sent it back. This was portion of the replacement plant, Esmeraldens, that NSC sent me. I have not been able to have success for some reason with this second plant. I've tried and I've tried. I got this really nice leaf right here, followed up by a dying emerging leaf. So not the best thing in the whole world. I just recently cut it, so you can see that it has not developed any kind of water roots yet. It's still just a stump in the water. And then I took this second cutting off of that same stem, and you can tell it's gonna probably go the route of old drippy. You can see some mold already starting to form there on the tip. So we'll see how it goes with these two. But that would mean that I have these two Esmeraldens right here in this cup, and I also have the base of the Esmeraldens that it came with. So if these all survive, I'll end up having 4 altogether, which means good things, which means giveaway stuff, or you know, like Instagram giveaways. It's always good to have extra cool plants on hand. So propagation's a good thing. Even when plants fail sometimes, I'm happy because I propagated it out of fear and out of desperate need to get something to survive, and then at the end I have to.
You're more likely to cut it and propagate it if it's struggling for some reason than if it's doing great.
If it's doing great, I'm probably not going to mess with it. But yeah, if it's struggling, it's like, well, at the end of the day, I'll have 5, so it doesn't matter. So this right here, it's kind of hard to tell exactly what it is, but this is, I don't know if you guys remember, but I ordered, or Casey ordered for me, an extra begonia Darth Vaderiana. Was it from Thailand that he got it, babe?
We said it was from Thailand. I think it ended up being somewhere else in Asia. But
Po Buddy's nerfing, you know what I mean? But anyways, geography's hard. So the base of the Darth Vaderiana started to rot. It was very obvious. It was turning brown and turning to mush. So I did what any other girl would do, and I chopped it off at the closest node above that one to try to save it. So I'm gonna take out these begonia leaves right here because this is what I've tried to do. If you want to look at the roots on this begonia. Begonias are notorious for having like really super strong and healthy rooting hormones, and a lot of people use begonia leaves to help other things to propagate. So here's the little roots on the second little begonia piece that I put in there, and this is a desperate attempt right here to try to help the Darth stem to root. So I'm gonna put that over there. And this right here is a Darth Vaderiana stem. And I don't know if you can see. Okay, so you can see the little teeny tiny growth point there. That's my only hope, Obi-Wan Kenobi, at having a second Darth Vaderiana. So to answer your question, if you ever thought, can you water propagate something like a Darth? Yes, you can. Now, can it survive being repotted? We don't know. That's still yet to be determined. So anyways, thank you guys for watching all my propagations. Okay, so I don't know if you guys follow Monstera King on Instagram. I was watching his stories one day, and he was at some sort of an expo or like a little get together of vendors, and I saw where he had tagged this girl, and she had some ceramic pottery out there that was to die for. It had like unicorn glaze on it. I'm gonna be showing her Instagram account on the side, but you guys can kind of go to her Etsy shop and check out the beautiful handmade stuff that she is making, and it's all made in the USA, of course, and she's based out of Austin, Texas. So we've got family that are based in Texas, so I was like, oh, and real quick on the nail issue, I'm doing some pre-recording this week, so you guys won't see my nails change for a while, but I will update it on Instagram. You guys had some super killer ideas from the last video that I asked about my nails on, that you wanted to see like the gold chrome with like a red accent nail, and I was like, yes, y'all actually, that's the perfect idea, and that's exactly why I asked you guys. The items that she has in her shop are priced a little high, but you're getting what you paid for. These are handmade ceramics, and they don't happen in 5 seconds, you know? you know? So you're getting what you pay for. And I have never gotten a handmade piece of ceramic before in my life. So this is my first one. It looks really big. Packaged super well. You can tell it's not broken already just from handling it. So that's appreciated. Amazon could probably take a few strokes from her. Oh, and the cool thing about her account is that she also makes pots for plants and all that kind of stuff. Oh my, whoa. Hang on, let me take the paper out of it. Wow. You guys, I think I'm gonna have to blame this on Beantown Houseplants because I watch her Instagram stories all the time and she always has the most badass little coffee cups and whatnot, so oh my god, girl, that is fire. How reflective the drip pattern is on it. I gotta get some more stuff from her shop because this makes me more happy than I anticipated that it would, and I can't wait to make coffee in it. That was the first thing I asked her too. I was like, is this dishwasher and microwave safe? Because this old lady microwaves her coffee like 12 times a day, and she was like, absolutely, and I was like, put it in my cart. So go check her out. Her name is Lysindra Gallup and her Etsy store is called LG Ceramic Designs. Thank you guys so much for coming and having a look at my props, what I got going on, and checking out the new handmade ceramic coffee mug that I got from the same place that you can go pick yourself up some planters. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this content, be sure and like and subscribe so that your girl will have motivation to keep making videos. Peace out. Later, taters. Bye.